start with this sloka. Naham manusyo nacha devayakshaha na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudraha na brahmachari na grihi vanasthava bhikshur na cha aham nija bodha sarupaha. Today we will be discussing the last question and the last answer, final answer. And there also we will find that the Rishi people are asking us to know about this Atman. So this is the interesting. The last time we discussed about the fourth question, and the last part of the fourth question was Kasvaitat Sukham Bhavati. Now, who is the happiness? And whose is the happiness? We feel happy. And my mind is happy, obviously. When you were discussing about that, I am happy. That means what? It's not the body that is happy, it's my mind. Again, as a student of Vedanta, you all know mind is also inert. If the mind is inert just like the body, how can the mind can feel the happiness? So this is the question. And we are studying the Vedanta, not the devotional approach, but discriminative approach, the path of knowledge. So every step we are asking and getting that knowledge. And slowly we are moving towards that. Kasvaitat sukham bhavati. The student asks the teacher, Pippalada, he said, whose is the happiness? Then he said, in the dreamless sleep. This is the very, very favorite example for the Vedantin. In the dreamless sleep, who enjoys? When you come back from the dreamless sleep, who says that I was enjoying a wonderful sleep, I have rested? That. In the fourth question, the fifth part that is said, in whom again are all these gathered together? Now all these things that we are seeing, where it goes. Friends, we know these questions are constantly from different directions, from different way, indicating towards the ultimate knowledge, knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of Atman, knowledge of oneness. So when he is asking the where, in whom are all these gathered together, all our senses going back, resting somewhere, which is their headquarters, we can ask, where all these things are going back and taking rest and once again coming. So, which is that? He is asking. So, we have already discussed about the other queries of the Saurasani, and now he is asking indirectly about the Atman. About this discourse, it is said that Atman is achayam. Now, it is very difficult to give any definition of Atman. So, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he so many times he said to his very beloved devotees, I feel like telling you about it, about the God, about the Atman, about the Mother. But someone is choking my throat, I can't. It is impossible. Why? Because subjective knowledge. Directly you have to realize, and no one can help you. Shankaracharya in one of his treatises, and he is telling that If a father has taken a loan, son can repay it. If somebody is carrying a load on his head, someone can release him. But this is the thing, realization of God is only yours and yours alone. Guru cannot help. And no one can help. Only yourself. So that is the main thing. So we have to understand, free from the modifications and limitations of the body. This Atman, how it is? Achayam. It is not having any shadow. Now, they say when we are children, if you see someone which is not having any shadow, be careful, he may be a ghost. The ghost. Now, here in the Atman is also not having the shadow. It means that it has no modification. Kusminnu sarve sampratishta bhavanti, in whom are all these gathered. In reply, the Rishi is describing the Atman, he who knows that imperishable being, bright, without shadow, achayam, without color, attains the supreme, the undecaying Purusha. Now here also we see the Pippalada is indirectly giving the answer. Because it is very, very difficult to give the direct answer. It is like this. The moment you say like that, immediately it becomes limited. I saw it in the Hindu temple. It was having 4 hands. If you describe like that, immediately it is limited. Time, space, causation, anything that you describe, it is limited. Anything that is limited is going to be destroyed. Anything that is destroying or destructible cannot be the Atman or the God. So obviously he is going on this way. Now, he who knows the Atman becomes all-knowing. This is the positive way. In the negative way, when it is not this, it is not that, and then it is colorless, it is without shadow, like this. If you know him directly, then what will become? All-knowing. In one of the Upanishads that we may read after this, there, one gentleman is asking, he is well-placed in the society, and he comes and asks that question, Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idam vijñātam bhavati iti. Don't say this or that. Tell me the one thing knowing which I can understand everything. The experienced cooks, they can understand whether the rice is ready or not, food is ready or not, just by seeing the color, or just by touching a little part of it, they will understand. Yes, it is ready. So similarly, if you know that particular Atman, you know everything in this world. Here the 5th question, Atha hi enam shaibhya satyakama prapacha. Now the Satyakama is, you know that the life of the Satyakama. He was a wonderful rishi. He was dedicated for knowledge, and he came to Pippalada along with his friends. Then he is coming, Atha hi enam shaibhya satyakama prapacha. Papacha means asking. Who? Satyakama. Who is Satyakama? Shaibhya. What is this Shaibhya? The son of Sivi. So this way it goes. Why they are constantly, any time you are giving a name, immediately, because you are not making any mistake. The same name may be so many, there should not be any mistake. So it says, the son of Sivi is asking, the people are the sad, if among men someone should meditate on the syllable Om with until death, which world he would go? Now this is another type of question. The Om iti Brahma, Upanishad says. What is Brahman? So they give the answer Om. That is the Om, the sign of Om. You may write it as O-M or A-U-M. Aum, that is. So this Aum, this Omkara, suppose someone is meditating, because you have said Om iti Brahma. Upanishad Rishis, they said Om iti Brahma. Om is the Brahman. If I am meditating on that, until my death, after my death, where I will go? That means he is very clever. Will I get liberation? That he is not asking. If I am meditating and I am not successful completely, what will happen to me? I am spending whole life meditating on Om till death. After my death, I am nowhere then, is it? So he is asking. Indirectly, he is asking, after the death, where he will go? Is he going to get the liberation, or he will be somewhere, or completely lost? It is total, the whole time is lost. He is asking this, then Sa yo habai tad. Tad is the special Bhagavan Manusheshu Prayananta. Prayanantam. That means up till death, Omkaram abhidiyate, meditating on Omkara, Katham bhavasatina lokam jayati. I read this Sanskrit so that your ears will be trained. So when you hear again and again, then you will listen and immediately you will understand, oh, this means this means this. Beautiful, this Sanskrit. Particularly the Upanishadic Sanskrit, the wonderful. That's why Swami Vivekananda suggested, if you don't understand and don't like to understand Kathopanishad, but read it, because of the wonderful way they have expressed. And it says, meditate until death and by following the instructions of the discipline. Now friends, this is the thing. In the spiritual life, you have to follow some discipline in the beginning. Otherwise, you won't be able to do. Suppose someone is going to become a commando in a special training day. For that, first thing that he needs is the physical strength. Otherwise, he won't be able to survive over there. That is the basic thing. A weak person, if he goes, I like to become commando, they will say, go and jump here and there, but anyway, we cannot recruit you. Because the basic thing is that. Then slowly, you know, they understand. I have seen some of the people, because I was in the border state, the armies, they used to come, a different type of dress, why this? They are commandos. What is their specialty? They can understand hearing the sound, whether it is from the gunshot or these or that, 100, 200 shots, the sound they memorize. Immediately they can understand. And by hearing the sound in the jungle, they can understand what is going to happen, who is actually moving, elephant, tiger, snake, these, that. The wonderful training and terrible training. You cannot imagine the way they work. And particularly in India, there's the last part of India, in that state, in the jungle school is there to training this. Sometimes the America, from the Great Britain, Germany, the soldiers, they go to learn the jungle warfare. In the jungle, how they will fight. That's the training. And for the spirituality, what you need? Two basic things, very simple. What is that? Yama and Niyama. See, nothing is there. But the problem with these rishis, they always make a small packet. If you open, so many other things are also there in that. Outwardly, the packaging is so nice. They say Yama. Acha, Y-A-M-A only. What is that? Then they say non-violence, ahimsa, truthfulness, the satya, non-stealing, asteya, and chastity of body and mind, brahmacharya, non-receiving of gifts, aparigraha. That is called, and we are so happy when you receive the gifts. Somebody has said, oh, it is me. We will be looking under the tree that after the Christmas, and the devotees, they mark, this is for Swami I, Swami V, Swami C, Swami. It's good that we are not having all the alphabets, only 3. So all these alphabets they will be mentioning, and then we were there. Bharadananda ji will be so happy to open, and then the gifts we are receiving. We don't need, but still a gift they have given. So we are then writing thanks later. So yama here, the yama means what? These things, ahimsa, non-violence. And immediately we say, ahimsa means don't eat meat or fish, then you're ahimsa. Is it? So easy. So many people, so many beings are eating all through only grasses, the cows. All through the life they are eating the grasses. They would be all great sages. No, ahimsa has a deep meaning. But I am not going to explain on that today. And this is ahimsa, truthfulness, satya. Look at it. Our God, Sri Krishna, he is asking his disciple, his follower, Yudhishthira, who was sticking to truth, tell lies. Then what is satya? Very interesting. And then comes non-stealing, asteya. Finally, this chastity of body and mind, that's called brahmacharya. And finally, non-receiving of gifts. This is yama. Then come niyama. These are the 2, yama and niyama. Only 2 steps. And niyama, outer and inner purity. If you are not bathing, if you are not changing the clothing, and in that way, if you come to God, your mind will be not that. After the bathing, when you are coming, putting on the washed clothing, you will see your mind is so fresh. And that is called, first is outer and inner purity, in Sanskrit, shaucha. Then containment, santosha, always mind is happy. Austerity, tapaha. You have to practice sometimes that I like this, but I won't eat it. Like that, if you are thinking, constantly constraining your mind, so upavasha, fasting, and not putting on the shoes, or these and that, so many austerities. Why? I am controlling my mind. Mind wants it, but I don't like to take. So I am becoming the master. That is called austerity and study of scripture. At least 2 or 3 pages every day, some good scripture you must read. That is constantly giving you the energy to practice the spiritual life. And devotion to God, Ishar Pranidhanat Ba. This is in the Yoga Sutra. So, devotion to God, constantly praying to God, wherever it is possible. Keep a photo in the pocket of your God or goddess, take it out, so all the time you. Satyakama, asking to know about Brahman, but he knows that through Om one can reach to that knowledge. Satyakama also knows meditation presupposes the practice of some spiritual disciplines, this yama niyama. The teacher Pippalada was happy and he answered. Because when you are ready, the student is ready, the basic things are ready, then when he comes to the teacher, teacher is so happy. When someone came to Sri Ramakrishna and asked, Sir, have you seen God? Sri Ramakrishna told, you better go and see the beautiful gardens, go. He doesn't know anything about the God, he is not going to practice, go away. Like this, so many people they came, they wanted to discuss things, the spirituality with Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna simply directed them to go to see the buildings and the garden. But when Narendranath came, the young boy of 17, 18, and when he asked the question, Sir, have you seen God? Without hesitation, immediately the great master said, yes, I have seen, I can show it to you too. So this is the, Pippalada was very happy when he heard this question, because he immediately understood, he knows the basic thing. Etad vai satya kama paramcha aparamcha brahma yad omkara. Now, param and aparam, Brahma, same Brahman. That is one param, another is aparam. Omkara is the symbol. Omkara is not the Brahman. Omkara is the symbol through which we have to reach. When we worship the God in image, That is only image. That is only pratika. In Sanskrit we call it pratika, symbol. That is not the thing to reach. No, not that. Sometimes some people we have seen in some of the countries, they are also taking that terrible pain and they are hanging in the cross. I saw the picture. The person, he is also going and laying down, and some people are nailing him, his hands and legs. That is not the idea. Just lying like a cross or hanging for some time in a cross, that is not the idea. Idea is Jesus' teachings. That we have to understand. So here also it is a symbol. When you are having the symbol and we think, oh, that is the final, no. So Om is the symbol, and through that symbol two things we can know. Now, this is very interesting. We always think about the Brahman is the final, but the same Brahman is also having Apara Brahman, lower Brahman. The lower and higher. In Bhagavad Gita also Sri Krishna mentioned that. This Apara Brahma is called Saguna Brahma. These are all terminologies. And the Supreme Brahman, that is Para Brahman, is called Nirguna Brahman. The moment you are having these qualities, immediately you are limited. So that's why Shankaracharya, most of the time we say God is one. Shankaracharya says, no, don't say one, say Advaita. The moment you say one, the conception of two automatically comes. The moment you say the light, the darkness, conception of darkness automatically comes. So they are so close, exactly opposite of birth and reverse. So obviously, Shankaracharya is suggesting, don't say one, say Advaita, no two. What remains? That. So here also we find the Brahman is transcendental and cannot be directly comprehended by our mind. And to help the mind to reach to the height of that Brahman, a symbol has been given to us, and that is the Omkara. Om is the most immediate symbol of Brahman. Then why there are two Brahmans? This is the question. There is nothing but one, or the Advaita, that has been named by the seers as Brahman. But in our present condition, we see this world, this universe. What is this? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, if you read the Gospel, he says, it's not now in your this condition, it's not good to practice jnana. Why? Because you have the conception of two, you have the conception of many. And now if we are thinking, talking, that will be hypocrisy. You don't do that. So according to your standard, it is better to go forward. I went to some place, I was asking a small little boy. I knew that he has not admitted into school. I told, are you in the school? He looked here and there. Then he saw another girl standing. She goes to school. He said, yes. Now, which school? Again, he looked at that girl and remembered that school of that. Then she was telling, she was also very little. She told, he doesn't go to school. He remains here. Anyway, he thinks that I am going to the school. And he thinks that, then the mother said, no, he goes to school, but preschool, something like that. And there is no book, there is nothing, only he goes to practice, to sit on the chair and the benches like that. So I told, I am so happy to learn that if I have to admit in any school, I will prefer your school. So no book, so no problem. So like this, it goes, that there is, when we think about it, the question is, why the two Brahman? Because we see this world. We cannot deny it. When I am pinching my body, I feel pain. How can I deny that I am not the body? Just now we were chanting, I am not this, I am not this, only suggesting ourselves. But in reality, it is impossible. We have to go. So, what is this then? There is a Brahman, it is having no qualities, nirguna. And then what is this world? It is separate from Brahman. This is the uniqueness of Hinduism. They say, no, this is also Brahman. Look at it, this is also Brahman. With all these things that we see, this is also Brahman, but apara Brahman. This is a little lower Brahman. So you see these, but this is not permanent. This question he will ask. Lower Brahman, apara Brahman, Brahman with qualities and attributes, that is again called Saguna Brahman. Understanding this temporary composite nature of the manifested Brahman, the intelligent one, try to realize the supreme Brahman. And this is the whole teaching. Both are Brahman. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God by opening your eyes? What is this? This is also God, and nothing but God. When the devotees, don't touch me, don't take my food, I am not going to take your food, it goes on like that, then ultimately when he or she reaches to the highest level of devotion, what they see? The same God in everything and nothing else. Ohi Ram ghat ghat mein leta. They say in the Hindi couplet. The same Rama in every being. Jahan jahan netra pade, tatra tatra Krishna spure. Wherever I see only the God. I don't see anything else. That is Vedanta. Ultimate, through the devotional path. So here, Kathopanishad says, Om iti evam dhyayata atmanam. So concentrate on the Atman as Om. Kathopanishad, let me read this. Sarve vedayat padam amananti, tapamsi sarvani chayat badanti, yadichanta brahmacharyam charanti, tatte padam sangrahena brabhimi. I will tell you that particular thing in a very brief way. What that? Which all the Vedas are declaring, proclaiming, which is implicit in all the penances, all people, different places, they are practicing to realize that God or these or that, and seeking which people are practicing austerity. What is that? I will tell you in a very simple way. Om iti etat, that is Omkar. Bhagavad Gita also said, Pranava sarva bhuteshu. Who said? Sri Krishna. And he said, I am the God. But at the same time, sarva bhuteshu, in every being, I am the Pranava, the first word. Om is considered as the supreme sound. Para Shabda. Shabda, the sound. But Om is the supreme sound. See, they are using the word supreme. Again, the Om is also supreme word. Friends, from here, a little difference is coming, philosophy is coming, discussion is coming. So, one is Para Shabda. Para means supreme. Above that, nothing is there. Shabda, sound. And then comes Para Bak. Bak Devi is the Saraswati. So Bak is that when we are talking, expressing, what we are actually doing, creating a sound, right? I am saying something, that saying is a sound. Something is a sound. If that sound is reaching to your ear, immediately you are understanding the meaning. You are not listening to the sound, you are understanding the meaning. How? By that sound. Suppose they give a honking, someone is here, he is just honking. Is there any meaning? Maybe that you are extending that particular sound, maybe someone over there needs help. In this country, they don't do honking unless and until there is a purpose. In our country, of course, all the time honking without purpose. They love to make the sound. Without sound, it is impossible. So, the sound that is coming, sometimes the machine making a sound, no meaning. But when somebody is only telling, hey, that hey, the sound when reaching my ear, there's a meaning. He is asking or taking the attention of someone. So one is the shabda, another is bak. Bak, Vaikhari, Shabdo, Jhari, the Shankaracharya is telling. What is that bak? The sound. That is having the meaning. The Vedic, the symbol Om and Sanskrit term bak are the source of the Greek logos. L-O-G-O-S. Sometimes they write logo, L-E-G-O, Lego. And also the Christian word, W-O-R-D. See, we are all reaching to the same point. Omkara, that is the sound. Then the Sanskrit literature, they say it is the bak. And particularly Shankaracharya, he said the bak, first is para, pashyanti, madhyama, then bak. Para, only a little movement, para. And that starts from our spinal cord, from the beginning of the spinal cord, that is movement, no sound, no meaning, only movement, creating, the movement is created only to make a sound, that's called para. Then when it comes up to navel, pashyanti. And then when it comes up to the heart, madhyama. In that madhyama stage, it is already formed, the sound and the meaning it is. Just like a baby taking the birth. And then finally it comes out in the mouth, and with the help of the tongue and the lips, it goes out. That is called bak. So para, pashyanti, madhyama, bak. We just say some words, but do you understand where from it is beginning? So they go so deep down to understand this, so that they can control over there. When the abusive words that you were using, that is also the shabda. And the spiritual seekers, they will control that. How? They will never think about. That thought will not get the formation here itself. That's all. So whatever will come out, only blessings. Swami Vivekananda is telling the Buddhas, he is sitting like this. You can see that image is there at the back. He is sitting like this, all his blessings and blessings and blessings and nothing else. The spiritual personality means only blessings, no cursing. But both are shabda. So this is, now here we find Christians, they are using this word, the same thing as a word. The Greek as logo. I am not going in details, but the Jewish philosopher Philo, P-H-I-L-O, Philo or Philo, he was born before 13 years before Jesus Christ and continued after the 50 years. So 63 years he was there, a contemporary of the Jesus. He explained the logos of the Greek philosophy as the first manifestation of God, both immanent and transcendent. Immanent means which we can see, we can touch, we can smell, and transcendent. Any difference? We are discussing about the Brahman, Para-Brahman, Apara-Brahman. That Jewish philosopher, he said, it is the logo that was the first expression, manifestation of God. First manifestation of God. God was there. Then afterwards, the Christians, they took that, and Saint John of the Cross, he wrote his the Gospel. There he is mentioning, in the beginning was the Word. He is not using bak, he is not using logo, he is using Word. So they changed this name Word, W-O-R-D. In the beginning was the Word. Again, the Word was with God. The God was there. And Word, that is the power of God, that was also there with God. And the Word was God. As because it is the power of God, it is God only. Now, someone sitting in the chair of the president, he signs a document that becomes the presidential order, right? But president is not present. He is only a signature on the paper, but that is the presidential order. And previously, the kings, they used to make own symbol. If their own ambassadors used to carry that symbol, that means king. So here also the same way, in the beginning was the Word, and Word was with God, and Word was God, and then finally, and the Word was made flesh. The fellow, he is telling this is the first expression of God, both immanent and transcendent. Here also, the St. John says that same thing, Word, it was with God in transcendent form, nobody knew. Then the same Word became flesh. It came down, Word became. So, Swami Vivekananda, in his own way, from the point of view of the Vedantin, he is explaining this particular, the statement of the Bible, and he said, the external aspect of the thought of God is the Word. He is using the terminology Word, not Bach or anything. The external aspect of the thought of God, ekaham bahushyamavihi, when we say, some people, God was thinking. Why suddenly he will think? I am alone, I like to be many, so this creation came. When you say that, how? God thought. Unless he thought, the desire was there, no creation will be there. So here Swamiji is explaining the external aspect of the thought of God is Word. And as God thought and willed before he created, so what it proves? The creation came out of the Word. So that is the way when he is telling step by step what was there, it was with God, then it was God, and then it became flesh. These 4 steps, Swamiji explained, because the God was thinking, and what he was thinking, that became the creation. So the creation came from the Word. Om is not Brahman, Om is the symbol. How symbolism helps? I will just say that, and then we will go to the, again back to Prasnopanishad, the people are there, because we have to complete today. And it says that how the symbolism helps. Suppose we are reading this book written in English and in Sanskrit, this particular Upanishad. The script is what? It's nothing but a set of symbols and to record the sound. Set of symbols to record the sound. That's all. The A, the B, like that. F-A-T-H-E-R, father. Is the father is there? No. It's only some alphabets, some letters. When the letters are there, that creates a sound. So the script means it is actually having the sound we are mentioning over here. The script is nothing but to record the sound. And even then, this script is helping to understand the whole knowledge. Similarly, if anyone who knows the Sanskrit and English script, you will understand this. And suppose you know only English, that also a half part of the book you can read. But suppose you don't know English and Sanskrit, this book is nothing but some papers. And all those writing is nothing but just some pages scribed, that's all. Some people wrote something, you are looking at it, that's all. Sometimes when you see that in Urdu or in Germany or in something, they have written, particularly in Russians, as if they are English alphabets, but meaning is totally different, you cannot understand anything. So when you when you know the secret of that particular script, it becomes the knowledge. Similarly, if one knows the symbolism of Om, one can reach to the Supreme Brahman. Now the Rishi Pippalada, he is explaining this to Satyakama. Satyakama asked, if one is meditating on Brahman after the death, where he will go, right? This is the question. Now he is giving the answer. He said, in the Om is having three letters, A, U and M. A represents the earth and the waking state. And at the same time, according to our Upanishad, it is Virat. A, it is representing the earth, it is the waking stage, and this is called Virat. U, intermediate state. This is the earth, it is the intermediate stage, and that is the dream stage, and it's called Hiranyagarbha. You have heard this type of sound, words. And M is the heaven, and the deep sleep, and it is Ishvara. So A, U, M. Then he says, Virat, Hiranyagarbha and Ishvara control this, respectively, these three states. Stages, the three states we can say. If the aspirant meditating separate letters separately will attain corresponding planes, some people, they go on meditating and praying to go to heaven. They will go to heaven. Some, they go to temple or the mosque or some other religious places to achieve something powerful. So that I am very weak, I want to get this power. They will get the power. How? They will become the demigods. And some people want in this world something, some power and the position. They will also get that. So A, U, M. If you are meditating separately, you will get that particular stage. When he was asking, if I am meditating, where I will go? In these three stages he will go. Again, let us quote that incident. The king and the businessman, they met and they worshipped and they got the vision of Ma Durga. And the mother asked, what do you want? Mother is not giving directly any boon. He is asking your desire. The king said, I like to be a powerful king. He became the powerful king. The king meditated and they prayed only these worldly things. So he got that Virat, he got. And then other one said, I like to go to heaven. He went to heaven. So this is what they say. The earth means Bhu, then Bhuva, then Swa. Intermediate goes. But who meditate on the entire Om? What is that entire Om? Indicating the Supreme Brahman. And keeping in mind the identity of the Brahman, he attains liberation. That is the answer. And the 6 questions now, the final question and the final answer will come. Sukesha, the son of Bharadwaja. You know, the many people, they are having the caste Bharadwaja. He was a great rishi. His son was Sukesha. Maybe, I don't know, he was having a very good hair. Sukesha. Kesha means the hair. The good hair. So I am not going to remove my cap, don't ask. So Sukesha. Now this Sukesha, he is the son of the Bharadwaja. He came and asked the Pippalada, said, one prince of the Koshala kingdom was there, his prince, he came and he asked me, do you know a person with 16 parts? Do you know where he stayed? This is a very peculiar question. But that also proved that these kings and the princes, they used to study the scriptures. Not that simply they are ruling and living that life. That was the lifestyle of the administrators of India. They were more dedicated for the spiritual life than many other things, though they were very, very successful in administration. This prince came and he was asking this boy, because he was practicing austerity, he was dedicated for this particular knowledge. So he came and asked, do you know? And he is asking 16 parts. A Purusha, a person. Do you know him? If you know him, where he is living? This Sukesha, he was not knowing, so he became very humble and he said, I don't know, I am sorry. So this time he is asking, sir, he came, he asked me, I couldn't give the answer. Can you please tell me about that? Tvam ta prichhami ka asau purusha. I am asking you, ka asau purusha, which is that being with the 16 parts and where he dwells, where he lives. Tasmai saho vacha. Then the Pippalada, the Pippalada, Tasmai to him, to Sukesha, said, Ubacha said, Somya, see the way that they are addressing. And you don't know this thing, this is very simple. Why then you are practicing spiritual? Not like that. Somya, oh, you are very dear to me. Why you are asking this question? You are inquiring about it. Somya, iha eva antasarire. Verily, here within this body, that being is living. Iha eva antasarire sa purusha yasmin eta. That person who is having the 16 parts, he is living. That's called Purusha. Because he is within, in the Pura, so Purusha. Not the male or the any gender. The Purusha, because what is the speciality? Shodasha kala prabhavanti iti is the 6th question and the 2nd sloka, and here in the Prasnopanishad he is giving the answer. Shodasha kala prabhavanti, 16 parts arise. Now this is the way they always say. So in a special way. They could say, oh, these qualities where in the person. No, is it kala? Shodasha kala, 16 different parts. In the 4th sloka, Rishi is giving the list of those Shodasha kala. And the first he is asking, and second he appreciated him, and in the second he says, this man, this person, we are having these 16 qualities living within us. And what are those qualities? Then he is giving the list. Sa pranam asrijat. That person, that being, he is creating the prana. Now those who are very serious students of Vedanta must have to remember the terminology. So same thing in a different term they have used. The prana, then Hiranyagarbha, then the creator, the Brahma, all these are the same. So we saw that means that Purusha who is within the heart, pranam asrijat, created. Asrijat, whom? The prana, that lower Brahman. He is not creating directly. He is manifesting some other power which has been named here as prana. He is creating. So the pure gold, you cannot make anything. The jewelry, when you are making with gold, you have to mix with something. So with the pure gold you cannot do. Similarly, the God, the pure God cannot do anything. You will see Sri Krishna is not doing anything. He is taking the help of the Arjuna. Because the Mahabharata, that war, the God, he did something in before, but the moment he was connected with the Brahman, he was sitting in the chariot of Arjuna, he did nothing. Sri Ramakrishna could do anything and everything, but he took the help of Vivekananda, Mahasarada and others. Sri Ramachandra, he could do everything, but at the same time he was taking the help. Why? The purity, the pure cannot work. You have to take some help with others. So here so pranam asrijat. He created the pranam, and this pranam means again consciousness associated with Maya. Sometimes Shankaracharya using that word Maya, they called it prana. Sometimes it is Brahma, sometimes it is Hiranyagarbha, Jiva, phenomenal world. So many ways you can express. That was created by him. Then prana, from that, Shraddham. Second comes Shraddha. From the prana comes the faith. What is that faith? That encourages to perform righteous deeds. If you don't have that particular faith, I am doing all this because I will realize God, I will realize Atman. If that is not there, why should I do? The confidence should be there. Yes, I am doing it. Surely I will reach over there. Someone told that is the top of the hill, you have to go, and this is the path, just follow. Don't go here and there, this little path, you go on climbing. You will reach over there. When we went to Jamunotri, so difficult, my God. We were young even then. And if someone gives me again offer to go over there, I will simply say no, because it is impossible. When we reached to that, and we were asking, where is Jamunotri? It is a river. And how come the river is on the top of the hill? It is a huge mountain. And the river is over there, river should be below. Then they said, no, you have to go over there because Jamunotri, the beginning of the river, is over there. And this is the way, go on climbing, climbing and climbing. You need to ask anything. We were going on climbing, climbing and climbing. Oh my God, that is a terrible journey. But after reaching over there, you forget all the fatigue. Beautiful place. So if you have the strength, you can try over there, the beautiful, and then the warm water. And the beautiful way they offer the food to the god. Hindu means there will be god. One goddess is there, Jamuna. And naturally the goddess is there, food have to offer. How they cook rice, you know? There will be tie in that rice, and then they will put that inside that water because it is boiling. Immediately it will be cooked. That they offer. The sulfur is there. So that you have to go. And the next pond is there. Pond means water is coming down. Snow is also all around. It is becoming little cooler. Wonderful. If you go and bathe, immediately all your tiredness will go. So this way it goes. So you have to reach over there, the Shraddham. When that person told you have to go on walking, climbing, don't hesitate. You will reach there. That Shraddha is there. Since he told he is coming down from there, he is having that experience. So let us walk. We went on going. That Shraddham is necessary. When the Guru said, just do this and you will realize God, just do that. So that Shraddha is necessary. Then come Kham. Kham means the Akasha, the space. And this different, slowly it is coming. Then space is coming, after that Vayu, the air, then the Jyoti, the fire, then the Apa, this is the water, and Prithvi, this is the earth. So all these five we always use here. Have you seen the Arati? These five things. And from the Prithvi, these are the elements of matter that constitute the body, and through which the result of the action is experienced. Unless and until our body is there, who is going to experience your karma phala? So you have to have this karma phala. Then come the indriyas, the organs, and there are 5 indriyas of perception, 5 of action. Then mana, the chief of the organs, annam, the food. Without the food, the body won't survive. And the annat viryam, that is samarth. And from the food, vitality comes. By means of which they can perform the actions. Then comes tapa, austerity. Now all these things are there, then suddenly why tapa, austerity? Because the mind start thinking, I have had it enough. I have enjoyed these, enjoyed that, enjoyed. Still the mind is not happy. Something must be there. What is that? Do you remember the story of the Mahabharata? That Yajati, he enjoyed the life for thousands of years. Even then he was not satisfied. Then he decided, no. Na jatu kamo kamanam upabhoge na samyati. It is impossible. By enjoying, it is impossible. You go to Germany and the 5-star, 7-star hotel, then you go and swim and you go read. And okay, now in the London 10-star hotel, I don't know 10-star is there or not, but so you are going on increasing the stars, when afterwards you will think, oh my God, everything is same. The same type of thing is there, only a little bit of here and there, little good things are there. That's all, everything is same. So you get dejected, that is called tapa. Immediately you say, nah, why should I spend so much of money for this? Simple living is all right. Whatever extra money, I will give to the poor people, they are suffering. So tapa. You are restraining your mind. That is called tapa. And then mantraha, hymns. The moment the tapa comes, then you need something to connect with the Supreme, and that is called mantra. Sometimes some people, they will go on chanting. If you go to the Uttar Bharat and the Dashin Bharat, of course in different way. In the Uttar Bharat you will find the Ramcharitmanas or the Mahavir, the Hanuman Chalisha, the 40 slokas, they will go on chanting every day. All they remember, memorized it. Punjabis, the Sikhs, Punjabis, they also go on chanting something. And in South India if you go, they are so fond of uttering the mantras. Because they think by uttering the mantras, the hymns, I am connected with God. So this way, I have also published one book, so that from the Monday to Sunday, all the chantings are there. People will learn from the... So this is called the mantra. Then come karma, the sacrifice. When you are sacrificing things, then loka, a different type of worlds, where people will go after their death according to their actions. If you have done good work, you will go to a good place. I was observing an English movie. The two brothers, twins, same looking, same thing. And one was so bad, another was very good. Then after a few days, the bad one, he thought, this brother is enjoying, so let me take his place. As because they are same looking, so he came, he forced him, and then he became that place. But his nature was totally different. People understood. For every reason, he used to pick up the quarrel and fight. And ultimately, that is the teaching. The brother who was good, always thinking and helping others, he ultimately went to a very good place where everybody was friendly. And the other brother, he went to a hell. The moment he landed over there, all others came to fight with him. So according to the karma, they've made that film according to this. So according to karma, you have to go, and lokeshucha namacha. Those planes are having the names marked by that. These are the 16 parts. Do you remember? Let me help you counting the 16 parts. Just go on counting. Prana, then faith, space, air, fire, water, earth, organs, mind, food, vitality, austerity, hymns, sacrifice, the worlds, and the names. See, 16. And all these 16s, it is inside one, that is Purusha. And that Purusha lives within our heart. Tam vedyam purusham veda yatha mamo mrittu paribhyatha iti. The last sloka, the last answer, the Rishi says, know him the Purusha, who alone is to be known. If not, then death and suffering is inevitable. So know that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna In the beginning of his ministry life, he said, Ishwar labh manushya jivaner uddeshya. The God realization should be the goal of every human being. Aham etavat eva etam param brahma veda atah param na asti iti. Then he said, I know up to this. The Rishi Pipalada said, thus far indeed I know the Supreme Brahman. There is nothing higher than these. I cannot tell you anything higher than these. And he stopped. Because you cannot explain, you have to realize only. Then these students, they were very good students, immediately they realized. And then they sat down, bow before him and say, Tvam hina pita ya asmakam avidyaya param param tarayasi. Tam hina pita. Na means we. You are our father, real father. Why? Because asmakam, to us, avidyaya param param tarayasi. You have taken us beyond the ignorance. So that's why in the Vaishnava cult you will see that they always call the Guru as Baba. Baba means the father. And here also the spiritual father. Why? Because they take them from the darkness to the light. So this is the last, and then they are telling Namah Parama Rishibhaha. I adore the supreme rishis, those who are really knowing the Brahman. I offer my pranam to them, seeking the blessing, so that I too can someday realize the Brahman. So this is the Prasnopanishad, the last prasna and the last answer. And from the next Sundays, we will start another very interesting, very important Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad. So that will be from the next Sunday. So let us chant Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Do you have any question about this? No. Shodasha Puja, there's a 16 items. And they'll be giving the clothings and the cover, the food and these, all these items. Pancha Prachara, Upachara. Pancha Upachara. You give 5 things. What is the 5? Mantra is also one. Then Dhupa, that the incense sticks that you are showing, that is also one. And Dasha Prachara. But in the 16, you must have to have performed the Yajna. So that is also one of the must thing. So thank you. And today, all of you are invited to take the prasad, please.